Dallas selects Emmitt Smith, running back from Florida.
When he took that football field, it was like he turned into Superman. He was an incredible talent.
Left tackle running win 30. He may score to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown Dallas. This game is over.
Smith up the middle, breaks a tackle, comes right, punches it in. Touchdown Cowboys. Smith up the middle, bounces at the 10, to the 5, cut to the right, cut to the left.
Oh, no!
Emmitt Smith.
25-20, straight to the end zone, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown Cowboys. Hand off Emmitt Smith at the 15. Oh, look at that hole. To the 10, he'll score. Emmitt Smith dances to the end zone.
Smith straight up the middle, and he may be gone. He's got the 50, he's got the 40, he's got the 20. Eric Allen chases the 5, 62-yard touchdown, Emmitt Smith.
Great effort by Emmitt Smith.
A lot of backs have played this game a lot of years who would like to have had a year like Emmitt had in September.
Coming right to 5. Irvin Black puts it in. Emmitt Smith carries it in. And it's touchdown Dallas.
Aikman pitch to Emmitt Smith. Sweeping to the left, has a block by Johnson at the 10-yard line. Still free at the 5. Down to the 3. Touchdown Cowboys.
Oh, man, what a run.
Smith is down. Emmitt Smith is down at the Giants 30.
Something happened in my shoulder that I never felt before. I'm sitting on the football field saying to myself, no pain, but I'm feeling all the pain.
To see him fight through the pain that he had inspired us all.
They'll never forget the day Emmitt Smith ran 32 times for 170 yards and did most of it with one arm.
Hand off Smith down to the 5. To the 1. Lean.
Oh, here he goes.
Touchdown Emmitt Smith.
Absolutely incredibly strong run by Emmitt Smith.
Touchdown Emmitt Smith.
He's going to score. Touchdown Cowboys.
And for me, the ultimate is the Super Bowl. There's nothing like it.
Lynch, pitch left to Smith, blocked from Johnston. Touchdown Emmitt Smith. Aikman draw to Smith. Tackled but breaks away to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown Emmitt Smith.
2 in a row. How sweet it is.
He scores. Emmitt Smith, touchdown Cowboys.
Handoff, Smith at left guard, 35, 40-yard line. That should do it. Move over, Sweetness. Make a place for Emmitt. If you care about sports, this is indescribable.
Never let others define you. You define yourself.
He is now the NFL's all-time leading rusher.
What's going on, y'all? It is game day, baby. Where are them green badges at, man? Did y'all see the GOAT, baby? Yes. Yes, we are 22 days away from the Cowboys kicking off on Sunday Night Football, but we got a preseason game here tonight in the Pacific Northwest. I am so happy it is a night game tonight, y'all. This gives me the opportunity to be able to have this show here today. And as I'm getting information in about all of my boots on ground fans touching down for the game tonight, we still got a preseason GYM RAT challenge to do, but we're 22 days away. We're giving some love to our GOAT. That's right, baby. Y'all know who the GOAT is. Where them green badges at? Y'all tap in, man. It's time to raise the bar if you're not already. We're live on multiple locations here today through StreamYard. We're live on Facebook in 3 locations on Facebook. We're live on LinkedIn too. So shout out to all of the professionals over there. We're live on that platform owned by Elon Musk. Throw up the X. We see you, Des Bryant. And we're also live on YouTube. So shout out to all my subs on YouTube that been holding it down. But we're live here in the gym today on game day. We're going to talk some GYM RAT challenge. We're going to talk some GOAT here today. We're going to talk some preseason game tonight against the Seahawks, who actually beat the Vikings last week. We're going to go over some of those stats. So y'all tune in today. It's the preseason pregame GYM RAT challenge. So y'all tap in. Let's get some shout outs and see who's rolling, baby. Yeah, we seen that. I seen that, but that's, not really mainstream news, but thank you for adding to that. If you haven't been following what's been going on with the GOAT, he had a restaurant out there in Las Vegas that's got some legal things going on, as Bobby alluded to. So shout out to the GOAT. We know he'll be able to deal with that. I actually read that. So thank you for bringing that up. Hey, Felicia, how you doing? Yeah, we're talking about the GOAT here today, man. Where are my green badges, baby? It is time to raise the bar and get it in today. How many of y'all are excited to watch your Cowboys tonight? We are on the night game, man. They got us on the night game for a reason. All eyes on us tonight, 7 p.m. on the West Coast. And speaking of the West Coast, shout out to all my Cowboy fans on the East Coast. That's like 10 p.m. The game is going down. We really out there, DC Nation Fan Club. Congrats on the 6-year anniversary. We've seen all the posts you put up. But, yeah, it's a late game on the East Coast. Where are all them East Coast fans at? I need to hear from y'all. And we got my local fans here, too. Shout out to all of the Pacific Northwest fans that's going to be touching down for the game tonight. Stay tuned. You'll learn how to be able to get in with a group picture. I'll be sharing how you can get in with a group picture of everybody if you're attending the game tonight. So if you know somebody attending the game, share this video with them or tag them in a comment below. We're going to do a big-time group photo after the game. So stick around. You'll be able to learn how to go through that. And then also we got some reps to get in here to GOAT Challenge. So we're talking all things GOAT here today. So if Emmitt Smith is your favorite player, you might want to pay attention today, especially if you're a green badge, because this is going to pay particular attention to the reps on the challenge this week. So if you're not meeting the challenges on all of the weekly shows every Saturday, this is our 3rd Saturday, which, oh, by the way, you can see that guy right there. That's right. That's what's up for grabs for the 3rd prize of the preseason Gym Rat Challenge of the month in September. So you got to follow along. You got to get these things done. Make sure you scroll back to the other 2 shows to be in the know. That way you can learn how to win. Today you're going to learn how to win this Emmitt Smith poster. Shout out to my guy, Caesar Mancia and Official America's team. It's a diehard group of Cowboy fans over there we created in 2016 with over 21,000 fans. My guy is pushing his work. He's a fan base creator. So shout out to my guy, Caesar Mancia. Y'all know who he is. Many of y'all have won posters from him, maybe have bought a poster or 2 from him. But he got Emmitt up today, baby. So he got his artwork all over everybody, man cave and she shed. So you'll be able to add that to yours if you follow along today on the GOAT Challenge, as we got up the GOAT article here. So just to kind of allude to what we're talking about today, so many of y'all that are members of my group here know that every year we do a vote. Yeah, we do a vote every year. We vote to see which player is going to be the favorite for the group in case it may change, but it didn't. The GOAT has won it back-to-back. I mean, the GOAT is really familiar with back-to-back, so it's quite fitting. He's won it the last 2 years in a row. I don't know who's going to be. Can he do a 3-peat come next season? Well, if you're in our group next season during July, you'll be able to vote for a favorite player in the group. We had over about 15,000 folks vote. So that's a pretty good snapshot, especially when we got 21,000 members. So I appreciate everybody that played along and got the GOAT voted in for the 2nd time. We have this story that we published on OAT here last year after he won it his initial time. And we also talked about how he broke the record. As y'all know, Emmitt Smith is called the GOAT for a reason. But we did a story on how we voted for him. As you see, we talked about how to vote along and do those things. So if you're a member of our group or if you're new, you definitely want to check this out, especially my Green Badge supporters. You got to read this article. I posted it in the Cowboy Cousins supporter group over there. So you got to be able to go through this and read this. This is part of your reps today. You got to read this and you got to comment on that post. Now, I've also opened up posting in the group. And there's a reason, but y'all need to go over there if you're a green badge. You got to make sure you're in the group first of all. So I'll show you guys how to do that real quick. Shout out to everybody out there rocking your game day, your church clothes today. But if you go to the page here on Built Different Group, take a look at it. Remember, always go up to the featured posts. As you guys can see right here, it says featured posts. So there's some posts that only supporters can see. Some posts only the followers can see or everybody else can see here. So I normally will post things of importance there, especially if they're important to my supporters like they are today. So, you got to make sure you're in the group. So you got to click on that link. Make sure you're in the group. Facebook automatically puts you in the group when you become a supporter and when you quit the gym or you lose your card, you got to update your payment information or whatever have you. They remove you, and then once you're up to date on payment, they move you back in. I'm not in control of that. So make sure if you're a brand new supporter, you know that I ain't got anything to do with the money transactions on you becoming a supporter. Facebook does that on the back end for me, but make sure you click the link and you join the Cowboy Cousins group there. Once you become a member, you'll come up to the featured post in the group. GOAT challenge right here. You'll come to the GOAT challenge, and as you can see, Peter Champion right there already commenting. So make sure you get over there, read that in the group, leave your comment. That's part of the rep for preseason Gym Rat Challenge if you want to get a chance to win the Emmitt Smith poster from Cesar Mancia. So always remember the featured post, whether in the group or whether on the page, is most important. As you can see, got up some fantasy football. So if you're into fantasy football, we're going to go through some fantasy football here in a minute. Shout out to all of the top fans, the supporters. We got 3 packed leagues on ESPN app. We'll be going through that. We've also got the Star Challenge. If you've ever visited the Star, you can post a photo of you and the family if you visited the Star in Frisco. As you can see here, many of the folks have already been posting their photos in there. I love it. If you've been to the Star out there in the DFW, we've been highlighting the Star here all this week because, quite frankly, training camp is moving from Oxnard. Matter of fact, they just moved from Oxnard up here to the West Coast, and they're going to be traveling back down to Frisco. But I see my Facebook user tapping in. It is always StatQuo Pro. Appreciate you tapping in. That's probably my Cowboy cousin, RC. I see you out there, baby. It was good connecting with you last night. Definitely look forward to seeing you at the game. But if that's not you, make sure if you're on one of these platforms we're on today, whether it be LinkedIn, YouTube, X, or Facebook, make sure you register with StreamYard so we can put a name with a face. What up, Melvin? I see you, baby. Appreciate you tapping in here today. Hey, Gregory says Cowboy Nation representing the East Coast. Springfield, Missouri. I thought that was still, Springfield, Massachusetts. Let me take that back. I see you tapping in, Gregory. Appreciate you tapping in here today. So just to recap, on the Gym Rat of the Challenge, we're getting the business out of the way. We're going to get to some Cowboys talk here. Y'all stay with me. We got to get through these reps. So make sure if you're on here and you're a green badge and you have not done so yet, you know what to do. Let's go. Raise the bar, baby. Let's help this conversation grow. It is game day. I'm surprised I'm not seeing more Cowboy fans up and at them, ready and hype about today's game at 7 p.m. up here at Lumen Field. What up, Steven? I see he says excited to see Vaughn. I don't know how much Vaughn we're going to see, y'all. Tell you the truth. You know, I think the cat is out of the bag on Deuce Vaughn. You know, the cat is out of the bag on Deuce Vaughn, especially after that first showing against the Jags. I mean, his name is skyrocketing in a lot of fantasy football spaces, along with Tony Pollard, you know, is projected to be like a top 3 running back in fantasy football. So shout out to everybody that's in the fantasy football leagues as we kind of segue through some content here. We're going to get to the pregame. We're going to look at the stats from the Vikings and the Seahawks here. We're going to take a look at what the Seahawks got going on before the game here tonight. But shout out to everybody in all of the leagues on the Built Different group page here. Yeah, shout out to my diversity league. As you guys can see right here, this diversity league that we got up on the ESPN app. We got 3 leagues here connected to Built Different group. I call this the diversity league because we got fans like Charger fans, Colts fans, Raiders fans, Seahawks fans. We got all kind of fans in there. So shout out to all of the 31 that follow the page here, especially on Facebook. We know how to keep it football. Some of y'all don't know how to keep it football in the comments, and that's why y'all get blocked. Or that's how you can get blocked. But shout out to everybody that likes to keep it football here. We got 3 leagues with a bunch of different fans in them. This is the first league here, so the Diversity League. Shout out to all my folks in the Diversity League. Shout out to the Top Fan League. We finally got the top fan leagues filled. We got some pretty great names in there. Shout out to my girl Caitlin with the context. Y'all gonna see her live here tomorrow on the game day post-game recap show the day after. So shout out to my girl Caitlin with the winning with context. I see you out there with your fantasy football teams. We got Cowboys and Blunt. Shout out to my guy Ryan Murphy, South Coast offense. What? Man, I like some of the names out there. Chronic Dak Payne. But shout out to all of the top fans in the ESPN app over there for the Page Built Different group. There will be a prize for first place. These have been free leagues to enter. This one was anyway. And then lastly, shout out to the third league that we constructed here. It goes down in the DM. Yeah. We had a bunch of folks that didn't make the cut on some of the other games, so we had them join here. So shout out to everybody that joined the It Goes Down in the DM league. But yeah, a lot of fantasy football talk, especially around the Dallas Cowboys this season, y'all. You know, there's an up-close personal look there of Emmitt Smith. That is what's up for grabs for GYM RAT of the Month preseason challenge. That is the third prize that we'll be giving away here. Remember the first week's challenge, you got this bucket hat, this military bucket hat. We're up here in the Pacific Northwest. There is a ton of veterans up here. So shout out to all veterans of all 32, especially the Cowboys and the Seahawks tonight. I know there'll be a lot of veterans at the game tonight. My guy RC's a veteran. We'll see him. The helmet plug is boots on ground. If you're in the secret supporter group, you've seen that. But this is what's up for grabs for the vets here, the bucket hat. And then we have a Micah Parsons poster. We already posted that. And then we replaced that with, this is the third prize of the month here for the GYM RAT of the Month challenge. So you got to make sure you go over there, read the GOAT challenge. You got to comment on that. And then lastly, let's get through the rest of this business and then we'll pivot to the pregame talk. If you got an Emmitt Smith memory, if you got Emmitt Smith memorabilia or a photo with Emmitt Smith, do you have an autograph thing of Emmitt Smith? Whatever is your favorite Emmitt Smith memory, if you got a photo of it and you're a Green Bay supporter, this is the second rep. You got to read the article, you got to comment, and then you got to post. That's right, I told you the posts. All members can post now in the secret group over there at Cowboy Cousins. Make sure you post that Emmitt Smith memory. It could be a favorite, whatever. You could grab a photo off the internet, but if you want to qualify for this week, you got to post your favorite Emmitt Smith memory, photo, or whatever have you, merchandise. Post that in the secret group. The posts have been turned back on. So we got through the business. Y'all put them reps up. Let's go raise the bar, baby. Get them reps in for that GYM RAT of the Month challenge as we got the Cowboys visiting Lumen Field here tonight. Oh, the weather's nice up here. I got to meet up with my helmet plug last night. Shout out to RC from AK. I think he's in the hat stop right now in Commons. He is not playing around. Shout out to my guy who just touched down. Park Ranger is in the building. That's right. Park Ranger came up from Visalia, California. So we got folks coming up from Cali, folks coming down from Alaska. We got boots on ground fans up here in the Pacific Northwest. Shout out to my guy, Mike Rock and Company. They going to be out today. Shout out to my girl, Sherry Rowland, all of the green badges. We're going to take a photo. We're going to take a group photo after the game. So green badges, pay attention as we get ready to shift to the game here. Talk a little bit of preseason stats with the Seahawks. But if you want to take a photo with us, all of the green badges, everybody coming down, boots on ground fans, if you're watching this or you know somebody that's going to be there, or if you're going to be there and you're just silently watching in the background, that's cool. Come down after the game behind the Cowboys bench, center field. We're going to take a big group photo. I can't wait to see all my Cowboy cousins over there. Now let's shift to the business, baby. Let's talk about the Seahawks and them Cowboys, man. Get your Cowboy questions ready. We're going to go over a little bit of stats from when the Seahawks played the Vikings, just to give us a snapshot. Now, we know this is preseason. And so we're seeing a lot of the second string and third string players, right? Especially on the Dallas Cowboys. So don't expect to see any Dak Prescott or any starters. I'm doubling down. I've been told y'all, Mike McCarthy came out and said, fuck them starters. Excuse my French. But you get the point. And that's why I doubled down and said Dak Prescott wasn't throwing any interceptions during the preseason because he hasn't played in a preseason game since 2019 down there at the Pant Stadium. But this was the score between the Seahawks and the Vikings during the Week 1 preseason game. As we take a little closer look at our competition, you know, Geno Smith, the feel-good starter up here in Seattle, he's not expected to play tonight. So we're going to see a lot of the 2s and 3s on both sides of the ball as the Cowboys try to carve out this 53-man roster and figure out who's going to make this running back squad as we talk about the GOAT here today. But Drew Lock is going to be at the helm. As you can see, he went for a couple TDs and an interception against the Vikings. They actually beat the Vikings 24-13. They got some rookie quarterbacks down there. I mean, rookie wide receivers. As you see, they got Jackson Smith. Jackson Smith, I ain't going to try to say his last name, but I know a lot of Cowboy fans are calling for us to try to draft him during the NFL draft. I've heard a lot about Jake Bobo. So a lot of these cats, you know, we're talking about here. You can also look for a fantasy value. I've heard Zach Charbonnet's name around a lot, especially for rushing on the Seahawks. So their total yards that they had for team stats, the Seahawks went for 330 yards passing last time against the Vikings. They went for about 330 total yards. They had 226 passing yards and about 100 on the ground. Like we said, Drew Lock threw 1 interception. There was only 2 turnovers in the game. Each team had a turnover. I expect to see some more turnovers tonight, especially with that second-string defense that intercepted Trevor Lawrence Week 1. Y'all remember that? Our 2s intercepted the 1s over there. So that's a little recap right there. In case you didn't know, the Seahawks played the Minnesota Vikings last week. That beat them. We've got them tonight on the road. This is the only road game for the Cowboys this preseason. Next week, they travel back. Like we said, Frisco is going to be the location of the remainder of training camp, and they have to host the Las Vegas Raiders next weekend. So that'll be the final preseason game. So I'm curious as we take a look at, we're going to pop over here to some of the Cowboys stats. You know, from last game against the Jaguars, right? You know, who's going to make this running back squad? You know, we've seen Ezekiel Elliott, who y'all know I said I had, you know, Jerry Jones had this emergency lever over there, excuse me, to pull in case of emergency for Ezekiel Elliott, right? In case we took an injury or something happened, like a Ronald Jones get suspended for the first 2 preseason games. I mean, he's not making a great campaign to make this squad. We've seen Rico Dowdle fumble at the goal line last game. We've seen Malik Davis not get that much action. I didn't see anything out of Hunter Lipke, who is going to be the third and final back. I mean, can we all just agree that Deuce Vaughn is making this squad? As we talk about running backs here today on the GOAT Challenge. But y'all throw your comments in there. Y'all know I got my big question of the show as we begin to talk about the running back unit. Y'all, we're just going to keep running the football here today as we came in with Emmitt Smith. Y'all seen that video of all his highlights there. Which of these running backs besides Deuce and Tony Pollard is going to get some highlights this season with the Cowboys in this Texas Coast offense? I see you, Bam. Shout out to the prayers down there, ATL. That's right. The coldest Cowboy fan I know in RC out of AK, baby. I'm talking about he's the coldest Cowboy fan I know, part of Star Gang up there in Alaska, too. Shout out to the prayers down there at headquarters at ATL. We see you, Bam. Longtime supporter here. Appreciate you tapping in today. Great question as we talk about some of the offensive line issues. We've seen Zach Martin get paid and come back, and now we see Jason Peters updated his LinkedIn profile to let everybody know he's in the running for a job, right? Great question. Let's just make that the question of the show. Should the Cowboys go back out there and get in bed with Jason Peters? Especially after we've seen the Zach Martin holdout. We don't know if Tyron Smith is going to be able to make it a whole season. You know, there's some questionable question marks there still on the offensive line. A lot of folks like to think the Cowboys had the best offensive line going, but did y'all see how many changes we had last season? Should we go out there and get a Jason Peters? Great question by my green badge here today, Peter Champion. Appreciate you tapping in. Steven Gutierrez, great question. Also, I don't think we see any Dak Prescott. I know a lot of fans are calling saying that we need to see him come out for a series or two in the first quarter or maybe the fourth quarter, or I don't know, you name it, depending on your alphabet network. Everybody's saying Dak Prescott should be playing in the preseason and knocking off that rust. Well, we haven't seen him in a preseason game since 2019, so I wouldn't bet my money, especially on the Raiders coming in from Las Vegas, you know what, home of Super Bowl 58 going to be at. I wouldn't put your money on Dak Prescott playing. I don't think we see him at all this preseason. Besides, you know, Mike McCarthy is a pretty analytical guy. You know, he likes to play poker, he says, you know, in a sense when it comes to letting other teams know kind of what the Cowboys got going on. And quite frankly, do y'all remember when he was telling us we were going to run the damn ball more this season? I don't think we see Dak Prescott. But yeah, which running back is going to make this squad, y'all? I mean, we take a look at the team stats from the Cowboys last game on the rushing side. Deuce Vaughn, 8 carries, 50 yards for a touchdown. Rico Dowdle, 6 for 21. He did have that fumble on the goal line. That really hurt his chances. He would have had way more yards. He probably would have been able to punch it in right there on the goal line. We probably would have seen maybe him solidify his spot, but no. We got 2 more games to go. Who do y'all think is going to make this running back squad? And with that being said, the third and final thing you need to do as a Green Badge on this live today is comment what's your score prediction for the game tonight as the Cowboys stroll into Lumen Field up here in this beautiful Pacific Northwest weather and take on the Seattle Seahawks, or AKA the 12th man. Caitlin was talking about he was a Pro Bowl returner last season. Y'all must be talking about Turpin. Okay, Turpin needs to go. That's a project that isn't panning out. Well, hold your horses there. I don't think, you know, even ESPN was trying to say that ESPN said that Turpin was probably likely not going to make the squad. Well, if you've been following closely, like all my Cowboy cousins have here, Chris, Turpin was getting some action, not only on special teams, but as a receiver, and also out of the backfield as a running back. And quite frankly, I think Turpin makes this squad. He's one of my sleepers in fantasy. You can get him for the cheap on all your rounds. Basically, nobody's drafting him. I would draft him as a sleeper and keep him on your bench. Because if the Dallas Cowboys defense special teams goes off like I think it will, we may see Cavante return a punt or two or a kick or two. But I think Turpin's not going to go. I think we'll see the maturity of Cavante Turpin along with Jalen Tolbert. How many of y'all have been keeping track of what's been going on with Jalen Tolbert? But that's the numbers from the last game. Shout out to everybody rolling. If you're tapping in for the first time, do me a favor on this GOAT challenge today. Leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Let's get acquainted. And as always, if you want to get a green badge today so you can be able to win Gym Rat of the Month challenge, prizes like the Emmitt Smith poster, like this bucket military style hat for the Cowboys by New Era. You can hit that heart with hit that white badge with a heart right over there in your bottom right corner. Next 2 folks that sign up, you'll have a 1 in 6 chance on winning what's in this pack. We're back on that BG, back on that quest for the 6-pack. So shout out to everybody. As a matter of fact, the next one, shout out to my guy Brian Herron, who just became a supporter. I got to put him on there. Matter of fact, the next one. So we're down to 1. I forgot to add him on there yesterday. Shout out to my guy, Brian Herron, out there in ATL, big time Cowboy fan supporter here. Back in the gym, baby. I got 1 spot left. Hit that heart hit that white badge with a heart over there in the bottom right corner. Become a supporter here today. That way you can be eligible to win these Gym Rat of the Month challenges. Shout out to my guy, Mike Rock, who won in June. Shout out to my guy, Troy Park, who's tapping in here today, who won in July. And every month we're going to have a Gym Rat of the Month challenge, especially for the green badges. All you got to do is follow along like today. Comment on the post. Post your Emmett photo in the group. Follow along. You can rewatch this. If you didn't get a chance to watch it live here today, use hashtag replay. That lets me know you watch it after the fact. I really love all of the hashtag replay folks. But yeah, who made this running back squad? That's going to be my big question of the day. And also, should we go get Jason Peters? Y'all tap in and let me know, baby, what's your score predictions on the game tonight? Facebook user tapping in says 2317. I see you. Make sure y'all register with StreamYard. Is that my guy RC? RC is notorious, baby. Chris says too much of a tone of reliability. Yeah, he fumbled that one. They still got confidence in him. Now, should something happen this season, I believe that's why we got Deuce Vaughn. He'll make the squad too, as we likely will see some Deuce Vaughn on special teams. He was getting some special teams work out there a little bit at camp too as well. We're gonna have to see, does Turpin make an entrance into the game tonight, and where do we use him in offense? But I'm telling you, I think Turpin makes this squad. He is a sleeper, especially of mine for fantasy football this season. Exactly. You can't drop the baby. Appreciate you tapping in here today as we talk about this running back unit of the Cowboys on the GOAT Challenge here today. You cannot drop the baby. Rico dropped the baby, man, and that really hurt his chance. What up, Felicia? I see you down there. Appreciate you tapping in the Metroplex. Caitlin with the context tapping in here, winning with context, a.k.a. in the fantasy realm. I see you. Caitlin will be live here tomorrow. Make sure y'all tune in. We're going to introduce Caitlin to the show. We had a little mix-up last weekend, but it's all good. We right back. Week 2 preseason game. We're going to recap the day after with Caitlin and BG tomorrow, so make sure you turn on your notifications. She says 23-20 Dallas. I mean, are we going to see some more Brandon Aubrey tonight? Is Brandon Aubrey going to be the kicker for the Cowboys? Are y'all buying into what Jerry's buying in with the USFL as we talked about? Cavante Turpin, I have referenced the USFL as the Dollar General store. The Joneses love to shop over there as they've picked up Brandon Aubrey, former soccer player and also of the USFL. Is he going to make this? Is he going to be the kicker for the squad? Facebook user says 40-20. Ooh, that's a lot of points. We've seen quite a few points last game between the Cowboys and the Jaguars. I think the over-under on the Cowboys-Jags last game was 37.5, but that looks like about 51 points to me. 28-23 last game between Cowboys and the Jags. I don't know what is the spread. Anybody know what the spread is on tonight? What's the game spread tonight? What up, King Sharon? I see you, baby. Appreciate you tapping in. He says 17 Cowboys. I like it. I like it. I like it. Yeah, make sure you leave your game score prediction here. Like I said, if you're live on one of these other platforms, we appreciate you watching, especially on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and on X. We got love for everybody. This is a good way. At least I can connect with all of those spaces on a live video at least once a week. We're going to be doing this throughout the season. I was fortunate. Like I said, I was glad tonight was a night game because that gave me the opportunity for us to be able to get this pregame GYM RAT preseason challenge underway. So make sure y'all go watch that. Or I'm sorry, make sure you go read in the secret group. You got to read the Emmett article there. You got to leave a comment, and then you got to post in the group your favorite Emmett memory or photo or merchandise, autograph, whatever it is. Find something with Emmitt Smith. Post it in the group. That's how you're going to qualify to win the Emmitt Smith poster for the GYM RAT of the Month Challenge. Exactly, Felicia. Yeah, can't drop the baby. Can't drop the baby. So that's what I'm going to be watching tonight is this running back unit. Who is going to take another step to show us they want to make this 53-man roster? I mean, that's what preseason boils down to anyway, is the Dallas Cowboys currently have an inflated roster of people. They got to narrow that down to 53. And we've seen Deuce with a great showing last game, and it looks like his skill set has translated from the NCAA to the NFL. I want to see, is it going to be Malik's night tonight? Is it going to be Rico Dowdle's night tonight? Or is it going to be Hunter Lipke's night tonight? I don't know how much Deuce Vaughn we may see. I think they may want to stash him like I want to stash Cavante Turpin on my bench. The Cowboys may stash him. I don't know. But make sure you turn on your notifications. We're going to have some live footage here. I'll be up at the game with my boys tonight. So shout out to everybody that's going to be going to the game tonight. If you're boots on ground and you want to stay after the game, come meet us down behind the Cowboys bench. After the game, we're going to get a great photo there at Lumen Field of all the boots on ground fans that came to the game out here in the Pacific Northwest. But we've recapped already on the preseason GYM RAT of the Month Challenge. You know what you got to do. Green badges. And like I said, we're looking for one more supporter. Hit that white badge with a heart over there in the right corner. Get your chance to win a 1-in-6 chance of winning what's in this pack, and you'll be eligible for all of the green badge Gym Rat of the Month challenges. Like I said, we're gonna have a green badge of the year or a Gym Rat of the year competition. So everybody who wins throughout the months, there'll be an overall competitor for this season. So we're gonna find out who's truly built different here, like Emmitt Smith was, you know, the GOAT. Move over, sweetness, make a spot for Emmitt Smith. I'm BG the Cowboys Unifier, baby. I appreciate y'all tapping in here today. We got the Gym Rat of the preseason month challenge done here today. We talked a little bit about the Seahawks game tonight. We're going to see what their twos look like. Should be a great game. My prediction is 30-24. The Dallas Cowboys, I believe Will Grier gets out there and puts up some more points. I look forward to Will Grier going out there and having a pretty good game. I don't know how much QB2 we're going to see. I know we're not going to see QB1. And I want Will Grier to have a real good game because I really love all of the Cowboy fans that are saying that Will Grier should be QB number 2 right about now. Thank you for tapping in right there. Seattle's favored by 7. Of course, they are at home, and they beat the Vikings last weekend. So, yeah, they got a 7-point favorite. Thank you, Facebook user. That's probably my guy, RC, tapping in here. But we're going to see about that tonight. That's why you lace them up. That's why you play the game. Gregory says, sounds like Aubrey's kicking with confidence all of a sudden. We're going to see. He is the only kicker on this roster, and there's still veterans like Robbie Gould, Mason Crosby, and I think one other out there. So there's some veterans that are still out there on the waiver wire. But I don't know, man. Maybe Brandon Aubrey might be that guy. Felicia says, Cowboys 27-10. I love it. Like I said, 30-24. 54 points is kind of right on par with what we seen last week versus the Jaguars, right? I think it was 51 points. Yep. You know, that matters to daily fantasy sports, especially to platforms like DraftKings and FanDuel. And, you know, quite frankly, that all is not legal up here. Matter of fact, you can't bet on the games in the casinos up here, but you can't play DraftKings and FanDuel in the state of Washington. So just a tidbit if you're wondering why. You know, you're in the state of Washington and you can't partake in that as you see an influx of commercials. I mean, after all, Super Bowl 58 is in Las Vegas. So make sure you're aware of that. But I like the spread. I like being the underdog. And quite frankly, Vegas got the Dallas Cowboys as underdogs in the NFC East this season too as well. They've got the Philadelphia Eagles favored to win the division back-to-back. But if you know, like I know, history matters. And we haven't seen a repeat champion in the NFC East in 19 years. But we're going to see up here in this battle of the NFC between the Seahawks and the Cowboys tonight at Lumen Field. I look forward to seeing all of y'all after the game down there behind the Cowboys bench for that group photo. Shout out to all my boots on ground fans out there tonight. Y'all stay tapped in here. There's going to be some live footage. We're going to post some things here tonight at the game at 7 p.m. on the West Coast. Shout out to all the West Coast Cowboy fans, man. We'll see y'all out there, boots on ground. And we'll see y'all next week for the 4th and final rep of the month for preseason Gym Rat of the Month challenge for August, y'all. It's the preseason challenge. Make sure you turn on the notifications, man. And we'll see y'all in the gym on the next episode.